Hello everybody, welcome back to Matty Reacts, the channel where we take a look at things we never watched or listened to before. And today we're taking another gander into the unknown. We're back with another President song. We covered In the Name of the Father a couple of weeks ago, and we just discussed how we pretty much think it's guaranteed at this point to be Charlie Simpson, who is the lead singer of President. He did try and hide his voice with some computer trickery, some stuff like that, but we're too clever for that. But just in case, just in case it's not him, I thought we may as well take a look at the second single, right? Which is called Fearless. Now it's a good time for me to be reacting to this. I'm a week late or a few days late to it, but today is the official start of Download Festival, which is where all of this hype came from when they were announced to be on the download bill. So I feel like it's as good a time as any to react to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing if it's still going to have that same sort of metalcore influence that the last song had, or whether this is going to be something different completely. Will it give us an insight into the sound we can expect from President, more generally, rather than just a single song? Let's take a look. There's the mask. A creepy mask. So the answer is yes, they're still going to go for a similar-ish sort of really heavy, warped sounding guitar and bass. It sounds really good though, sounds really heavy. He's not even hiding his voice this time. It's definitely Charlie Simpson. Let's take it from the start of the verse. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely more parallels with Bring Me the Horizon in terms of the presentation of this video. It feels a little bit 21 Pilotish as well. I'm not saying any of these things to say that they're copying or that I think it's bad. I just like to see where inspiration is drawn from with these bands, and I think taking bits and bobs from bands that have been very popular over the past 5-10 years, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But there's enough new here, I think, to sort of show where this could be going. I think it's a genre that's still got untapped potential. I think yes, while this kind of music is becoming more and more mainstream, see, for example, Bring Me the Horizon singing with Ed Sheeran at the Brit Awards. People hadn't, I think, expected a band like Bring Me to be on such a huge stage. And I think this is exactly the sort of thing, this sort of crossover effect can have, because obviously you've got Charlie Simpson, although the band have said anonymously that they're never going to confirm who is or isn't in the band, even if people figure it out. It won't be officially released, but I think enough people know that it's Charlie, that you're going to have the people that liked him because of Fight Star, you're going to have the people that like him because of Busted, you're going to have people who don't know much about either of those bands but saw him on The Masked Singer, and what this means is there's such a big chance to expand an audience to this kind of music. And I've said in videos before that I'm very much a fan of opening up music to as many people as possible, right? And I hate it when people try and gatekeep, which has happened a lot in the rock and metal communities over the years. Not everyone, obviously. There's a lot of really cool people that I've met through gigs or who like similar music to me. But there's definitely people have been guilty of it in the past, right? And a band like this who can pull all of those different audiences together and go, what do you think about a music that is this heavy? It's a good thing because it can bring new fans to the genre. It can bring new fans to your favourite bands who can then afford to do bigger and better things. Or it might stop them from having to give up being a band because of the lack of money in it. I just think it's really good. And I think these sort of bands that have this crossover appeal are very important, even if it brings people who aren't usually associated with the genre into the fandom. I think it's great. Oh. What a chorus. He was doing that really nice middle ground there where it was not quite screaming, but it was a bit more than singing. Really liked it. Those sort of childlike chants, they're straight out of the playbook of something like Baby Metal. They would do something like that, wouldn't they? I wonder if, because obviously I mentioned at the start that he's not even really trying to hide his voice at this point, but he's still using the sort of robotic, distant auto-tune style a little bit in this. And I wonder if that's sort of part of the sort of lore of the band and part of the sort of gimmick of the band is that, you know, they are president, they're giving an address to the people, and it's sort of a little bit soulless. And even if what they're saying is full of emotion, there's a little bit of a disconnect there from reality. And I wonder if that's a commentary on, you know, real life politics, where politicians are quite often known to not do what they say or not believe what they say. If that's on purpose, I think it's a very good way of displaying that. Oh. And like I said when we listened to the last song by President, I'm not a huge fan of scream for the sake, you know, when there's nothing to be gained by it, just scream for the sake of it. But again, they've done a great example here of where the screaming has really come in when the person that is this song is from the perspective of, I'm not going to say it's Charlie himself, but whoever, you know, whoever is feeling the feelings that are being written about in this song is really being torn apart by, you know, what they think about themselves. And you know, it feels like that would be an appropriate time to be screaming into, like, almost screaming into the void, but out loud.
Forgiveness is a strength I'm yet to learn. I can't bury my head under the sand and hope it makes me feel less. do I pretend? Just tell me it'll make sense in the end. I can't lie to myself and fuck with my health. I just wanna be fearless, fearless, fearless.
Oh, another breakdown. Nice. Oh, they're taking the mask off. Okay. I think that was a fake mask takeoff because that's not Charlie Simpson at the end there. Very interesting. Cool way to do it though. Make people think that you're gonna sort of take the mask off and then actually do, but it's not the person who's singing. It keeps up the air of mystery. I really liked it. I think I actually like that better than In the Name of the Father. I think it had a bit more of a pop sensibility to it, which I'm a big pop fan. I'm always going to prefer it when songs are a little bit catchier and have something that is a bit more my sense of my taste in music. I liked both songs, but I think this for me just pips it a little bit, and I think it definitely shows where they can go with this. Like I say, Bring Me have gone nuclear in the past few years, so there's no reason why President can't do something similar. I'm just really happy that we're at a point again where this sort of music is crossing into the mainstream. I think a lot's been said about Linkin Park recently and replacing Chester, but they are also doing really well in terms of the mainstream knows what's happening with them. I just think it's great, and I think if we can get to the point where that sort of music is, does anyone really care about the charts anymore? I'm not sure, to be honest. But I think if this kind of music gets more into the charts again, it's only a good thing. We had some really good times, in the 2000s where new metal and pop punk were getting into the charts a hell of a lot. And I think again, I'm going to harp on about it. Bringing new people into these genres as fans is good for the scene. It's good for these genres of music to have more new fans being brought into the arena as such. So I think that songs like this are only a good thing. I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. Let me know what you thought. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you again in another reaction video very soon.